I saw a video recently which was very, very biased against men, and I think that we, as both men and women, can learn from this video as a whole. And I think that instead of making enemies of feminists or other women who may not sympathize with the types of things that guys have to go through, I think that we can use this as an opportunity to learn. So there's this individual called John Nazarin, and he is an ex-cop who is now a private investigator, and he specializes in restraining orders and divorce settlements and giving out divorce advice. He made a video recently titled "How to Throw Your Husband Out, Divorce Advice." And unfortunately, I cannot find the original video because I think he has since taken it down, and he has since closed his channel. So basically, the crux of his video is essentially to make sure that men get thrown out of the house by instructing women to throw a shit fit in the kitchen, break all sorts of things, and call the cops. And when the cops come up and see that the woman is all disfigured and shit's broken, they're automatically going to assume that the man did it, and they will arrest him and throw him in custody for at least a good period of time. I know what you're all thinking. He's a Poe, right? Well, no, not quite. He has made similar claims before in previous videos of his, in addition to making very similar remarks in front of a camera on television. So, link to that video in the description down below. As I've stated before, this guy has removed the video, and I can't find the original channel in which he posted that video as of this time, so it appears that he has tucked his tail between his legs and run off like a little coward. Needless to say, what he said was despicable. Just downright despicable. Pretty much endorsing criminal activity. Endorsing women to file false charges against a man, and essentially playing on society's biased preconceptions that men are always the abusers and women are always the victims. And you don't need me to tell you that this is disgusting. I mean, how could anyone with a moral conscience advocate this sort of behavior? And this is really insulting to me as a guy, knowing that I can't have dinner with any potential wife or girlfriend that I have without being in constant fear that I might be thrown in jail if my wife or girlfriend has any problems with me. It certainly doesn't help that it takes away from victims of real domestic violence. And for what? And funny thing is, this guy, John Nazarin, says, oh, well, I was just kidding about this stuff. And even if he was just kidding, like, that's a pretty sick joke. This is, regardless of whether he's referring to men or women being treated this way, it's equally as despicable. You're talking about ruining someone financially because legal counseling is expensive. You're talking about ruining them psychologically because this stuff is not something any normal person should have to go through. And most certainly you're talking about ruining their reputation in their job, amongst their family and friends, maybe even their children. You're essentially telling people how to ruin another person's life. And that is no exaggeration. But you know what, John? I want your voice to be heard. I don't want you to slip back into the shadows and into obscurity. I want the whole world to see exactly what's wrong with you and what's wrong with your mentality. I will leave a link to a mirror of your video in the video description down below. So welcome to the internet, John. Welcome to the Streisand effect. And welcome to your doom. May the truth always be heard.